Hey folks, it's Marvin Cash, the host of The Articulate Fly, and we're back with another Central PA fishing report with George Costa from TCO Fly Shop in State College. How you doing, George?
I am amazing as always, Marv. How are you?
Living the dream. I saw your Instagram feed. You guys are a wash and hackle.
We are a wash and hackle. The store's got a big whiting shipment in this past week, so check our website, see what we got in stock, or even better, stop by the shops and browse through the wonderful world of feathered friends.
Yeah, because I've been in the shop before, and you've got some pretty, what I would consider esoteric hackle stuff. You want to tell folks just a couple examples?
Yeah, we got a bunch of cool stuff in from whiting. Whiting has been pretty tough to get lately, so a fair amount of dry fly stuff, but we got some really cool streamer stuff for our warm weather species. We got some really nice the American Cape, some really nice grizzly hackles. So start tying some of those bass bugs and let the trout relax for the summer, and let's fish for some of our warm weather friends.
Yeah, and you got great stuff for tying soft hackles too.
Indeed. Yep, indeed.
Yeah, and so looking at your weather, I wouldn't say you're cool, but you're not hot, and you've gotten some water. So what are you guys seeing?
So we're not too bad. We got some good rain this week. We've had storms almost every day, come through for about an hour. We had some big storms come through here. So nothing is washed out, but we've got a nice little replenishment to the flows. Everything is seasonal or just above right now. Temps have been a little cooler in the night. So, still check those temps afternoon. They're going to get up there into mid, maybe high 60s, especially on those bigger streams, Penns and Jay. But early morning fishing's been great. Tricos have started, and that's been really good. They, expect to get on the water between, let's say 8 and 10 has been prime for tricos. Fish are eating them. Couple bugs in the evening, so some tancatus around, an occasional Cahill here or there. But for major hatches, nothing major other than the tricos. ISOs spotty here and there. Terrestrial season is here. It has been. Beetles and ants are great searching patterns throughout the day, as is your old greeny weeny inchworm. So we are in summertime, but it's not super hot and super low, which is nice. So a little more leeway as far as when to fish this past week.
There you go. And we've got a question for you. Came in through our Instagram feed. One of our listeners wanted to get your thoughts on tips for fishing low clear water.
Well, summertime dry dropper is really my favorite way to go. Lighter nymphs, this time of year, especially on Spring Creek or some of our other creeks around here, we get, super, super weedy. So, you don't want to be dragging your nymph along the bottom, especially if you're fishing some, weedy beds. Dry dropper is a great way to go. Just use lighter nymphs, longer leaders, and, just refine your presentation. And, that's going to be the key. It's just, lighter, smaller and lighter for sure. Longer leaders.
Yeah. And do you think it's good to maybe switch up and maybe fish downstream as opposed to upstream? That's kind of a blanket statement. That depends. If you've got fish rising and you're in, really glassy pools, it's definitely a good technique. I was just up on the Delaware this past week, and that's the way we do it up there. Those fish are pretty fussy. They've got all the time in the world to look at it. So, that's not a terrible idea. More broken water, you can get away with still traditional up and across kind of fishing. But, if something's not working, change something. The definition of crazy is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. So changing your position and changing your presentation is never a bad idea. Yeah, there you go. And folks, we love questions at The Articulate Fly. You can email them to us or send them to us on our Facebook or Instagram page. And if we use your question, I'll send you some Articulate Fly swag, and we will enter you into a drawing for something cool from the shop at the end of the season. And George, before I let you get back to it, why don't you let folks know where you are, your hours, and all that kind of good stuff?
We are at 2030 East College Avenue here in State College, here Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6, Sunday from 9 to 3, and you can get us on the web at tcoflyfishing.com.
That's great. And, folks, you've got this great little sweet spot where, you've got a little bit more water than normal. It's not super hot, and you owe it to yourself to get out there and catch a few, because if you don't now, in 3 or 4 weeks when it's really scorching, you're going to really regret it. Tight lines, everybody.
True.
Yep. Tight lines, George.
All right. Take it easy, Mark.